Hi everyone and welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
In our last episode, Judy, you shared a message, the first message from Maris, entitled Cosmic Divine Consciousness from your book The Way of the Forest. In this message, Maris talks about the universal cycle or human ladder. He says God is the consciousness of the universe and the universe is the consciousness of God. And universal consciousness is attained by a soul when a point is reached in their evolution when they are able to consciously acknowledge and empathize with beings that exist in other dimensions and reality of the universe beyond the limited third-dimensional reality of human consciousness.
Yes, Paula. The point that Maris is referring to here is the fact that in reality, which means beyond the limits of third dimension, we are all one. There is no separation, no them and us. As our consciousness expands, thus enabling us to connect more fully with deeper aspects of our soul self, we begin to recall other lives lived, both here on earth and elsewhere. This self-realization then awakens us to the fact that we've experienced multiple lives in multiple cultures, both here on earth and also on other planets. Hence, we awaken to a sense of oneness and empathy with all beings.
He says that the fear that he specifically wants us to address is the fear of being faced with something different. This fear was born out of the territorial instinct of the animal kingdom, but has been carried over into the genetic makeup of the human kingdom to become a cultural instinct, which causes us to be wary and distrustful of anyone who is not of our tribe, religion, race, culture, or planet. So Maris wants us to embrace and acknowledge this fear of anyone who is different. He explains how we have this fear, and so my question is, why do we have it? Is it a result of the interference from the controllers, or is it a lesson that we have to learn while being on this polarized earth with both love and fear to contend with, or both?
Okay, as Maris says, this them and us fear is born out of the herd instinct of the animal kingdom. The survival of the fittest instinct is the same. What we need to understand is that the scientific Darwinian theory of humans evolving from animals and the religious concept of the Genesis story in the Bible are both sort of correct. Humans of Earth were genetically bioengineered out of primates through the addition of off-planet DNA. The more off-planet DNA we carry in our genetic makeup, the less we exhibit the behaviour patterns of our primate forebears. The interference by the so-called serpent in the Garden of Eden was actually an interference with our higher off-planet DNA. This was done by the reptarians to neutralise the humanising process being carried out by the off-planet people who were here to free Earth humans from the slavery imposed upon them by the reptarians. The reptarians wanted to keep the newly developed humans as slaves, using the divide and conquer and survival of the fittest mindset which was carried over from their primate past. This was designed to keep them divided amongst themselves and therefore disempowered and easy to control. This is still very much in evidence to this day. Many Earth humans have no idea how disempowering warfare and cultural divisiveness are. The reptarians are also the ones behind all the myriad conspiracy theories to cause maximum destabilisation, fear and anger. Bashar, the Essassani Zeta channeled by Daryl Ankar, talks about this, which I've put up on our Facebook pages. Our ET teachers have said the same thing, so great to have that validation from Bashar. So to answer your question, Paula, yes to all points and more. It's an instinctual fear carried over from our primate ancestors that has been used and encouraged by the reptarian controllers to keep us enslaved and disempowered. It's also a lesson or test for us in free will, in that we have to make the choice between love and fear. Because humans of Earth stand on the borderline between animal and human, the free will choice between the two must be presented to us.
Mm-hmm. So, what this message from Maris is ultimately doing is getting us to understand that we are in a shifting consciousness. We are shifting into universal consciousness, and one of the things that will enable us to shift more easily is acceptance. Acceptance of anyone who is different, however that may look.
It's actually the only thing that will enable us to shift up to fifth world consciousness. Accepting the differences in others with respect, compassion and empathy is what 5D is all about. The reason being it's an act of consciousness expansion and ultimately self-realisation, given the fact that in the greater reality we are all one. I'd just like to add in here a quote by Buddhist nun Tenzin Palmo to clarify what spiritual evolution, including our shift up to 5D, is all about. To quote, "The whole point of spiritual practice is not to get visions, but to get realizations. A realization is the white transparent light at the centre of the prism, not the rainbow colours around it. In other words, spiritual evolvement is not about being psychic and or clairvoyant. It's more about moving past fear and divisiveness and opening up to oneness. And the realization she's referring to is self-realization, a vital part of which is the recognition and acceptance of reincarnation and the many varied lives we've experienced through it. This in turn is our key to oneness or God consciousness."
Yes, it's the realizations, the white transparent light at the centre of the prism, not the rainbow colours around it. I also love it when Mara says it is only through learning to trust and accept the differences in others that you will ever learn to trust and accept yourself. And through learning to trust and accept yourself fully, you will eventually attain what is referred to as self-realization. This goes back to the beginning of the message when Maris talks about the structure being the same. One is macrosm and the other is microsm. It's all a reflection.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about.
In other words, we are the ones who create our own heavenly utopia.
Yes, and this comes back to the fact that we create our reality through our thought patterns and mind focus.
We come from unconditional love and we will return to unconditional love. So it's all about the journey as a soul to progress up through the human ladder and to trust that our soul knows what we need to experience, and how knowing that this fear must be overcome is going to enable us to move up through the human ladder and shift into universal consciousness easier and faster.
Exactly. It's all about coming back to the unconditional love state of oneness, both with self and others. And on that note, if people want to read more about all of this in detail, my books are available from Amazon, and they are The Zeta Message, Human by Day, Zeta by Night, Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective. They can all be ordered through links on our website below.
Thanks, Jude, and thanks everyone so much for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. Sending you all much love, and bye for now.